The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast. A week in Daytona Beach, Speed Weeks as it used to be known back in the day, is going to finally come to a conclusion here today. We have been here in the Xfinity cars, we've been here in the next-gen cars for the Nichols Oils Pros Cup Series, and we'll wind out our triple bypass week here at the World Center of Racing with some ARCA racing here today. Welcome everyone to PTR TV for today's coverage. Triple bypass, their new ARCA, well not their new, but they're new to us, ARCA Series, round number 2 of their Season 9 campaign. 85 laps, it's going to be the same distance as we ran on Sunday, except in these ARCA cars. We are in the Cultured Designs 85, and I want to thank Terry Brooks for our sponsorship with these broadcasts. Of course, it's going to be myself, Corey Silva, in the booth, and in the production truck. Brad is here to help me out with the calls, Mr. Brad Dalton. So we have a full, and I mean full to the rafter, and I'm not making a pun towards Al right there, Brad. These guys have come out to the World Center of Racing.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's so exciting to see the love that the ARCA car gets here at Daytona. This is a car track combo that, well, you have to love it. I would argue the ARCA is one of the most fun cars to drive here in the service, and seeing the 40 car cap be hit, and drivers are still asking in Discord how they can get in, and if they can get in, is there room for them to get in? And I can tell you right now, that is exciting to see. It shows just how much triple bypass has grown. It shows the interest in this car, and it just shows that you gotta be quick to get in, and it's gonna be fun to see how this goes tonight.
Absolutely the case here, and just a good sign for the future of this specific series and the growth of the league as a sanction. We'll be covering about 75% of the schedule here on PTR TV. A couple races will be off on a different channel, so we'll hold true to their socials and you'll find out that. But again, we want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, and he will be the sponsor of the majority of these ARCA races, Terry Brooks. He qualified 9th here today in that number 23 car. And I'll tell you, Brett, I don't recall personally covering, and I wouldn't imagine you have either, covering too many of these ARCA races at Daytona since we've received a new one. So I'm not personally privy to the style of drafting that this car will put on.
I don't know that we've really covered an ARCA race since the new ARCA car came out. And that sounds really bad to say, considering that a good crux of our channel is oval racing. But I genuinely can't think of the last time I covered a good ARCA race. But this is going to be exciting. I know the new ARCA car drives really well. And, well, if Thursday night's Xfinity race, Sunday night's Cup races to give us anything, it's going to be some hard racing.
Absolutely, and we'll get started here today with the PTR TV starting lineup here from the World Center of Racing. We got Sean Bradley on the pole with that 51326. Brad Kress in the Flow Racing Mustang. You're going to be outside of that row. Steve McClendon, our back-to-back Cup Series champion, row number 3 with Dylan Freeman. He won that Cup race in the most incredible of style. Our next row will find the likes of Matt Rodriguez, Mr. Cookie Monster, and Matthew Epting there, Chicago Bears in the 6th spot. 7th, Matt Boyer and Brady Muchow. I almost want to say Kachow, like Lightning McQueen there. And then we have Mark Jarrell and Terry Brooks, our race sponsor, in 10th.
Moving on from there, it's Corny Brian Cooper in P11 with Michael Hopkins in P number 12. P13 is going to find Matt Parasini. Will he do some pirouettes today with Adam Voss in P14? P15. P15 is going to find us the likes of Tyler Ruielis and Alan Kunman. P16, P17 here on the evening is going to get Howie Burrows, who sponsored Sunday night's race. And yes, Howie is from the UK. Curtis Mitchell in P18, P19 here on the night. Wyatt Kennedy in the Lego car. We'll see if he can build the bricks to get to the front, with Nathan Himperly in P20.
The Hooters car. I don't know if it's the good Hooters or the bad Hooters. I know they've gone woke. Justin Baxter in 21st. James Honeycutt in 22nd. Chad Winstead in the SVG ride. He'll be in that 23rd spot. Jeff Slaughter in 24th. Rockham the Dale Jr. scheme. Where else better to run it? Caleb Brown in the Polaroid car. Will he take a photo in victory lane? 25th. Nicholas Deal. His deal is to be in 26th. He has the merit of the 27th position. Our elbows out Racing League driver Zach Nerney out of Richmond in 28th. Donald Ristow, and then Matt Alfredson, P30, the Slurpee ride. And Brad, we got another 10.
Last 10 here on the night. More elbows out drivers coming too, by the way. Ward Fisher, 31st. Matt Harmon, 32nd. Going on from there, it's Al Corey, the boss man, the founder, in 33rd with the Corky beside him. Nothing can go wrong with that combination. Herzog in P35 with Dylan Petit in P number 36. Cameron Kane in the Aflac will be in 37th, with Jason Benson in the Blue Ride in 38th. Jacob Bettis and Alex Squire. Liv Moss in 40th place. Wait, he was with Waffle House Racing, and he's driving a Taco Bell car?
Well, we don't always have to make sense around these parts, but either way, we'll get ready for our racing as we head through all of the inside billboards there. Our race details here, a little bit different than Sunday, but a lot is the same. 85 laps, no stage. This is a flag-to-flag race. Our racing purists will love that. One set of tires, which is not a lot, but also shouldn't mean that much here at Daytona. We still have a backup car. We do have full fuel, so probably closer to 40-ish laps on a tank. And I will say, aesthetically, Brad, I'm not sure if you've picked up on this. These things look like monster trucks. How high the front end is on these things. It must be the custom setup.
It's kind of throwing me off to see it, but I have a feeling that once they get up to speed, downforce is going to push down. But this is going to be interesting, and I have a feeling that that front end may be adjusted a little bit just to help with bump drafting, which we'll probably see.
Yeah, certainly the case here. Again, these Gen 6 bodies, we'll see how they line up, how they push, and hopefully these drivers will not push each other into a huge wreck, as we're still catching up here. We're coming up to the... Nope, we're going to get an additional pace lap here, because I was going to say, we are not even coming together at all. Still have drivers way back of the field, not caught up for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there looking through. Usually at a track like Daytona, one pace lap is just enough for you to, get everything sorted and done with a track this long. But hey, extra pace laps are always fun here and gives us some time to talk about keys to the race that, well, Corey, I know you came up with these, and I have to say, I feel like we read each other's minds sometimes because, two of the three I definitely would have said.
Don't crash. Don't screw up your pit stop, and now that means your strategy, cough, cough, Al, as well as actually executing the slow down and speed up process, and then pick the right lane, not necessarily the right lane, but the correct lane, because that will send you in the position that you would like to go.
I think the only thing I would add to that is final lap is the most important lap. Don't prematurely run your way up to the front on lap 25 of 85. You need to wait closer to the end. Have some patience, which is a virtue that a lot of drivers don't know how to exercise.
I'm getting privy to some back-end information that says that this car is drafty as heck, but not so much a side draft. But they are able to push pretty hard, so stability will probably be at the forefront here today. Still, even with a stable set, still a couple places such as the tri-oval, corner entry, maybe the exit of 4. Usually I would personally give a little bit of real estate for, just because that car does get a little light, not so much like Talladega where the track is nice and wide and a little bit bigger. But we'll come off turn number 4. Sean Bradley in the Duff Beer car. He is going to lead this thing down with Brad Crest to his outside. Row number 2 finds McClendon and Freeman. Let's go Daytona racing for the final time this week. And who will head into victory circle? Let's find out together. Green flag in the air. We're racing.
I just let the car sound for a second there. Everybody through the tri-oval, one car with a pit lane start going through, and up front the 51, the 77 going together pretty early as they come along here. And that is going to be Sean Bradley, Steve McClendon. No surprise to see them hooked together. We saw it a lot Sunday that those two tried to find their way around the front. Everybody seems to get away pretty well here down the backstretch. There is a little bit of a gap starting to form, a couple of distinct packs, but I have a feeling that'll close up pretty quick, or at least for the 21's sake, he's going to hope he can block his way back forward.
Yeah, he's already there as closing in on who's the driver in front. That's actually Howie in that number 98 car. As again, the draft range usually around 7-8 tenths of a second. And I'll tell you, it's even throwing off some of the aesthetics here. You know, I'm a graphics snob, Brad. As high as these cars are, it's actually kind of making some of the shadows look weird. But we'll see how that comes in. And actually, just as you predicted, we'll go on board the deck lid cam. Actually, let's go with the gear cam. And you can see that car has gone right to the pavement there. That's Steve McClendon, and a little kiss, tap, and high engine.
Hey, that looks like a pretty good timing cover set up there on that car going through. Everybody doing a pretty good job so far keeping it together as they go. Again, patience is a virtue here around Daytona. So let's see who can hold it together here. I like that the top line there is led by Mark Durrell, the 81. That two distinct lines going through, and everybody just trying to pace along. I got to talk to Nerney earlier, and he basically said his plan is like last 10 laps before he even tries anything, and he's just going to ride around otherwise. So no surprise to see that there. And I would say just kind of watch here as they work through. There's the 84 Ward Fisher coming along.
Yeah, something's up with Hyatt. Or he just lost the draft. This right here with Ward Fisher, he's 6 seconds. This pack right here is 6 seconds off the lead draft. Whether that's intentional or not, we don't know. Some, the old racing style here on the restrictor plate tracks is lay back, wait for the wreck, be there at the end. But without the stage, without the guaranteed caution, I'm going to say a ridiculous statement, Brad. If this thing goes green, they're never going to have a chance to catch up.
You're not wrong, and honestly, there is the possibility that things go completely green. You can never count that out as it goes. It's always something that could happen. I've seen it more than once happen going through. So, and I can say a little bit of info from Sunday night for those of you who watched everything. Ward Fisher's house actually got struck by lightning. So that is what happened with Fisher earlier. I've never had something catch me off guard, but
I was going to say, did you just have lag time in the brain right there?
That is literally the brain trying to catch up with what was on the screen there, as I thought Parasini was going to go around, and I was trying to figure out what I was reading.
So there's an old stigma in the iRacing community that when there's a driver to the league that you don't recognize and they're driving either a Red Bull or a Jeff Gordon scheme, watch out. And I'm going to say nothing negative about Curtis Mitchell, but he is driving a Jeff Gordon scheme, as is Matt Parasini. So two Jeff Gordon schemes here side by side. That means there's going to be a wreck if you believe in iRacing stereotypes. They're side by side at about 7th and 8th. Leading the top charge is Parasini, that Superman all-star car that Gordon ran, I believe, in 1998. Glistening with the push from the Cinnabon.
Listen, if you haven't had the news,
Superman there we go, wreck.
Oh, and there it is around.
Well, there's Howie in it, so Howie could, they do have a fast repair, but I was going to say I could probably go to bed at a reasonable time here, because for Europeans it is certainly not a normal time. Well, let's take a look at the replay.
Through, let's see.
Oh, big stack up with Slaughter in the 88. I believe that was Slaughter in the 88. Yes, something happened with Slaughter. Grab a gander at this from our blimp. Look dead center in the middle of the shot there, that 88. Oh, there was a checkup, and then the checkup got really bad around the 17. And from that point on, really just not much way to recover for them.
Yeah, and you look at it, at first for the front end, and you kind of look and see that checkup, and you go, man, that was so minor. Why did it cause that? But the thing is, you got to remember, we're also reacting to all of this at nearly 200 miles an hour. So it's one of those that you see that happen, and one driver does it, and that human reaction time before you can kind of factor it in, it accordions out, and then that's what you get.
Yep, that is exactly the case here. Let's see. The Tide Ride is doing the old fakerooski there. That's Matt Rodriguez. Now, this brings a lot of drivers into that same situation, Brad, that we had on Sunday night, being in the first wreck of the race. A lot of these drivers have damage that will absolutely need a backup car, but I'm certain there's going to be one or two that have that, questionable level of damage. You have that one fast repair. You don't want to use it too early, but you also don't want to leave it on the table and then leave it there all race. You just see right in that shot, about 3 of them being used.
Yeah, I was going to say Slaughter there, a few others. You can see the front end gone, tires hooked around 45 degrees, out of tow. I mean, you have to use a fast repair there. But, I mean, if you're just sporting a little bit of fender damage, we're only lap 7. We know that's not the only wreck of the night that's coming. That is the one thing I can say for all but certainty. One wreck has happened, more are to follow. So I would hold my fast repair if it is just cosmetic or minor damage. I would not worry about using it. Some drivers are going to go ahead and use it anyways. Some drivers are going to stick it out. It just depends on what you're thinking. Again, not having a stage, it creates kind of a different thought, even though again, I don't like stages. I think that's something we've talked about, but I think it does create a different strategy thought here with these Tuesday night runs than it does to Sunday.
Next, you have to plan, ultimately, as a racer, you have to plan on a race to the checkers. All the strategies that you cover have to get you to the checkers, and if a caution comes out, you have to make that audible, and all right, how is this going to affect what I plan to do, rather than, like you said, what you have to do on Sunday night, where all right, I know I can make it to lap 30, so whatever, this doesn't matter. You really have to, have that level 2 thought.
Yeah, it's a very, everyone that's here is very smart, but it is something that if it's not in your normal, what's the word I'm looking for, Corey?
If it's not in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, if it's not in your wheelhouse, you're just going to do bad at it. So, but everyone here, I think, is smart enough to kind of figure out what the best strategy decision is. Call those strategies on the fly. I mean, yeah, I can name one person or two people who aren't, but I think everybody will be pretty okay as it stands. I think what's going to be interesting here on this restart, though, Sean Bradley and Steve McClendon are side by side now. Those two like to be front to back, so I'm curious to see who gets ahead of whom, and do they get back together, or do they try to run separate lines?
Well, I don't know. Are they ever getting back together, like ever? I mean, it's the 26th. Everybody knows they're getting married. Brad, are you so excited? Sorry, I know. Even every place, it doesn't matter where you are. Places that it has no business being told. People are talking about it. I feel...
What? Are you not a Swiftie?
My wife, I got an Instagram message the second it happened from my wife. She
Okay,
said, "Oh my God, did you see it?"
I got 3 DMs from people at work because I may or may not occasionally listen to a Taylor Swift playlist, and that may or may not have been what I listened to all afternoon.
I got no problem. Blank Space, 1989. I'm sorry, here's my hot take. Blank Space was better on the OG version, the Taylor's version. Doesn't hit the same. I'm sure Dylan Freeman, if he's not listening live, he'll have a comment post-race, because I'm sure he will listen to that as well. But yeah, Blank Space, listen to the OG one. But let's get ready for a restart here, and then it'll be, as you said, Bradley and McClendon on the front row. the Matt and Matt show in row number 2. Rodriguez and Moyer here. Green flag back in the air. Let's see, can McClendon drop down? Answer will be yes.
Great decision there from McClendon to drop down, I have to say. Definitely smart. Get in that single file line. Don't stick alone. And you can see right there, row 2, Matt and Matt dropping together. That's going to leave Parasini leading the high line alone there, going through. He's got a little bit of help behind, but even Parasini's going to drop down. Look at this. Everybody wants to be single file running through right now. A couple guys jockeying around, but I have a feeling everyone wants that inside line. They just want to go single file and run for a while.
Yep, just do exactly that here. Oh, Terry Brooks looking to the outside. Again, we just want to give a shout out to Terry as a sponsor of today's event. And actually, every broadcast that we're covering here on the season, Terry wanted that to happen. And again, the league and he is all obliging of that. 2 separate packs forming there. The Lego car, that's the 21, and that automobile would be, if I could read a timing screen fast enough, is Wyatt Kennedy. And then just behind him, we have Zach Nerney. Again, I think you just said earlier, Brad, that he is planning to kind of do nothing until the very end. And I don't know if that gap is part of that intentional plan.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's going to be part of that. No! There's a big round and coming back on track. Is this going to cause a wreck?
Who was that? That was the 160 of Tyler Ruelas there. Ruelas. I don't think we've ever got full enunciation on that, but that, without question, upon review, is going to be the Ricky Rudd save of the race. Abso-bleeping-lutely.
How?
How did you save that car? Well, I'm just so daggone good.
Absolutely. I haven't done that in a while. The Ricky Rudd Save of the Race Award goes to the 160. Now, the only thing for him, now he's 11 seconds off the pace, off to his lonesome. He needs a wreck. But look what's going on up front. They done gone single file, Brad. They're like, nope, we ain't racing. We're chugging. We're putting some laps. We're getting ready for a Rafters dog or whatever's on the menu there. This is the top 18 drivers. You have to go back to Nicholas Deal, 19th. That's where you'll find the first semblance of any sort of battling.
Yeah, and seeing that battle and going through, honestly, they would be better off to try to work it into single file and keep it going, but they are going to go and battle a little bit. But I really think if they were to go single file, they could catch that front pack without a care in the world. But you're asking racing drivers to work together, and that is one of those things that is easier said than done, time on time again. And it's just not going to happen.
Time after time. If you're lost, you can look at... Who sings that? Somebody in chat, who sings Time After... Cindy... No, it's not Cindy Lab, but she does Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Who sings Time After Time? Someone's old. Someone has to know that. Oh, you just gasped. I thought you were getting an inkling there. But as you get that inkling, we are 3.
It is Cindy. It is Cindy.
Oh, she has 2 hits. There you go. Good for her. Michael Hopkins in a new livery here today. Not running the multicolored ride, running the Miller Highlight. That is Bobby Allison. And on the vein of elderly people. In the vein of elderly people, we have Al Corey just behind him there. And he's running an unlucky 13th as they die in the background.
Second, Pack Heart Attack. Caution's out, and I would like a hot dog from the Turn 4 Shake Shack.
I thought they were expired Costco dogs. Is that what I was told?
I mean, they probably are. Still sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how expired here.
Second pack.
Let's take a gander, not outdoors. Oh, Howie into the fence. So Howie mutilated Dylan Freeman on Sunday and then hit the wall uninstigated. Let's take a look. Give benefit of the doubt. We always like to do that, right? Sometimes. No. I'm going to redact some of my sass. And I'm going to redact some of that sass because the 18 of Epting did kind of wash up, and I think that scared Howie a bit.
I definitely think so there. And then that is that the 36 and Nerney just getting the love tap there from Howie and sent to the wall. Am I seeing that right?
Yep, that's just dumb luck.
Oh.
That's going to be a necessitous fast repair for Mr. Nerney in the 36 car.
R.I.P.
But that will put us under caution one more again here. We'll see if any strategy comes about. I do know Terry has made the personal choice not to be interviewed for the stage, as well, not for the stage, for the sponsor, as we usually have. But 77 will come in, as does many, probably to get some fuel. Again, we don't know exactly what the fuel range is, but would take a gander. It's probably around 40-ish laps, so still will be one more stop to have, but it'll set you up to maybe take less later or see how the race plays out.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they get to the end on fuel going through. Again, you can't get to the end from this stage, I would assume. So let's see what happens there. Ooh, the 14 with a big run there out of the pits going around. Sean Bradley still, though, getting out ahead, but that number 14 going through. Brian Cooper staying out. Looks like several drivers staying out here as we go. Only the top 6 have not pit. Everyone else behind has been in the pit.
And who's that? Benson. What does Benson have on his hood there? Some kind of... What is that? A lizard with pancakes or something? A fish with pancakes? Triple pie pass. Yeah, that's a fish with like 3 pies stacked together. So, again, if you want serious airtime and, having us talk about you for about at least 30 seconds, have an interesting livery, have an interesting paint scheme, depends if you're from America or across the pond, and our quick attention spans will gladly want to investigate your paint scheme.
Yeah, for real. It's always a great decision there. So if you can do it, you should do it.
You can do it. Just put your back into it. Can't say any more of that because I'll get canceled. But what else do we got here? Hyatt, remember, he was all the way by himself. He has used the benefit of these cautions to get caught back up inside the top 10. Baxter 8th. Sean Bradley first to exit the pits will be in the 10th spot. Blending back to 13th. Thus far, nobody has formally retired from the race. We do have Fisher, Benson, and Dylan Podet in the pits. Well, Podet is 12 minutes into the pits in his repair. He's all but out of it. But as of now, all 40 entries are still registered in the session. And a couple pit stops here on 1 to go.
I think taking that pit at 1 to go is probably going to be an interesting decision here because it does put you in a very interesting position here. Again, I have to wonder, is this to try to make it to the end if you pit now?
No.
That's the only thing I can think of, but even then, no.
Yeah, I may not know this car as well as I know a Cup car or Xfinity car, but I have never seen a car go 69 laps on a restrictor plate track. So I think the longest I've ever seen was about 55 laps, and that was when they had maybe like 2002-ish when they had the 22-gallon fuel cells and they choked them down a little bit. Aflac into the wall under caution there, just kind of tapping the safer barrier. I think that's Cam Kane, if I'm not mistaken. You're the auto insurance agent, so you can't give him benefit of the doubt. He hit the wall by himself under caution.
Yeah, no, that's going to raise your insurance rates quite a bit there, buddy. Not good to see, but here we are going through and around. And
who is trying to run the old Battle of the Beach layout there on the pavement down there?
I don't know who that is, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying, I don't know who it is either, but either way, because I remember back in the day they did do the Battle of the Beach. They had a flat short track there on the back straightaway at Daytona back when the grandstands were there from like maybe 2010, 2012. But obviously when they got rid of those grandstands, can't really have a racetrack back there. So iRacing actually made that layout, surprisingly. Someone hacked it and managed to race it. But they never released it, and they took care of that situation. I looked it up so you didn't have to. But let's have another restart Coop is going to lead him down. And let's see what happens behind. Cress will stay to the outside and then disappear. Hey, who just disappeared? Someone disappeared.
Coop. That is our race leader who is Houdiniing his way around. I mean, that's a good way to keep the lead, but that is also beyond terrifying when you're running restrictor plate racing like this. Oh boy, who is that way down low? CM Punk.
Yep, that puts us under caution.
And everybody checking up to the back, trying to get things together.
Ruelas again. Remember, he just had the Ricky Rudd save of the race. I guess twice was too much to ask for.
What happened here? Tyler cleared his way down.
He bubbled it. Was not clear.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, there's just really not any pretty way to say that. It's just a straight not clear, bro. Just get one more look at it.
Yeah, that was...
And just to, there are people watching this. Well, I mean, who may not know our style here on PTR TV. We are a very dynamic channel. And I say that in the sense of we could cover a race with the commentary style of Coke and be as professional and yuppie and, never say a bad thing about anything. We can do that. Not quite moon car, although I think it'd be fun to do a moon car style race, but we haven't done that, but we could. But the league actually likes the style of roasting, making fun, being lighthearted, but doing it in a professional way. So, that's kind of what we're shooting for here. So for those who don't know our style, we're not just a bunch of crazies. There is a method to our madness.
Speak for yourself talking about we're not a bunch of crazies. Don't say too much.
So you are crazy?
Well, there's a couple screws loose on all of us. Have you considered what the crew is here between the four of us that are like full time with the channel? You've got me, you've got you. We've got Andre in the background who needs to start making his appearances again because I miss hearing Andre's beautiful voice. And then we've got Patrick. Like between the four of us that do a lot of stuff here, and Howie Burrows, I mean, we let Howie in the booth, and that alone qualifies this entire PTR TV establishment as crazy. Yeah. We let a Brit in the booth.
But to our point, like we said, we balance the professionalism with the humor, with the jokes, with the lightheartedness. And that's because that is what the league requests. They want the fun out of it, but they want the style of what we do. So we like clarifying that up when things go a little bit off the Richter here, which I've also made my public opinion known of my feeling towards the style of racing. And when the race is going the way that it is, and it's as many laps as it is, Corey will start to go off the Richter. So Brad will probably have to rein me in a little bit later, but hopefully not if this thing goes and we get a good stretch of racing here.
Yeah, and this is the thing with, long super speedway racing is that you end up in this situation that we call intensely boring, where just things sort of stack. And I talked about it on Sunday. Again, I spot on Thursday nights for a driver here in Triple Bypass, and the thing that you can really feel in the car as a driver and even in broadcast, whether it's doing this or even in real life, I've caught myself getting this, getting to do some real life stuff this year, camera operating and commentary. You just feel when something's going to happen, whether it's that big pass that's going to come, that big wreck is coming, guys are getting impatient, whatever it might be, you just know. And sometimes you just know when things are going to go awry, and you just know when those races are just going to turn into guys forgetting how to turn left correctly. So, and sometimes, again, back to our style of commentary, you call a spade. You just call it out, because sometimes these guys need to be called out. That is just, again, it's our style. It's what we do. We're very upfront about it.
And we are, we bring the emotion and passion into it. And that, that works on the positives, great finishes like we saw Sunday. And if you want to spin it as a potential negative, when we are getting caution after caution and we can't get racing and we can't get a flow, there are, like I say, the Coke series. They will take the worst Coke race and they'll stay positive and, yeah, what's going to happen next? Yeah, no, we're going to deflate. We're going to deflate like the drivers are because they're sick of pacing. We'll deflate like you watching at home. We'll deflate like admin. And, we want to see good, hard, clean racing, having the strategies. We don't want to banter under cautions for 8-9 times an event.
Yeah, and I mean, see, admin get the ability that they get to threaten penalties and violence, and the corgis get to threaten airstrikes. In the broadcast booth, we just get to threaten to roast you publicly, which is more fun, I think. But hey, it's still something we do.
I'd rather call on-track action here. I'd rather call somebody out on an amazing pass, making a good run off the top, getting a slide job, doing a dive, I would rather call that out. I would rather not have to roast people. But yes, getting back to 1 to green here, Kress and Bradley leading this down in the opposite position they have been on prior restarts.
And look who's right behind Sean Bradley, Steve McClendon. That's going to be, watch those two on the high line. I have a feeling they're going to run their way up ahead of Brad Kress if they can, and then immediately drop down, take that inside line, and probably about the top 15, top 20 are going to run it single file very quickly and take off with it.
Absolutely. I'm sure that admin has had discussions, and usually after that, things do tend to clear up as drivers fear their league life, so to speak. But either way, back in the restart zone, once again on the loud pedal is Kress, and we will get things going, but this time I don't think he's going to get to the bottom of the racetrack because the 14 of Rodriguez fills in the gap. He does do that. Bradley will have to fall into third, take the push from McClendon.
Yeah, good decision there from them to just settle that in. Great restart there from Kress and Rodriguez, and Sean Bradley, Steve McClendon showing the very, very wise driving they have. Of course, McClendon is a multifaceted champion here in Triple Bypass, one of the admins for Sunday night. So no surprise to kind of see him wise to the move to get to the inside. Outside line, top 10, all floating around that outside line, and then you get back around with Herzog and going through. We're on board with Caleb Brown right now, who's beat Josh Berry once in iRacing. Now that is an achievement.
Absolutely, beating a real-life Cup driver at, Josh Berry obviously getting his break in the Cars Tour, short track racing, but has also had a big presence here in the simulator, so that's a cool little thing to be able to say. I beat Garrett Smithley in a truck race at Chicagoland, so I can kind of put some of those things together. The 12 up top here, that's Nathan Hemperly, so he is trying to help that top lane, and now we'll be looking for a brief 3 wide. I saw Herzog looking high. That may have been to cool the car down, but it also could have been for a brief 3 wide attempt there as he's pushing that car in that generic scheme. That's the 882 of Brody Machado.
And as we continue along here, watching the push go through, nobody's really bumper to bumper, but there is minimal space there. And this is, it's not the true bump drafting, but it is good drafting that we're seeing here as everyone, kind of gauges the position. You kind of think about what you're going to do. You leave a little bit of room, maybe a light shove here, a light shove there, and you continue along. Checking back further back in the pack, though, as they go along here, and you can see that, again, it's still 2x2 through into the back as they continue to just follow through, and I do see a little bit of that field spread starting out.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be single file. I mean, you can race as, you've very quickly stole my saying, Brad. If you weren't a part of the channel, I'd have to copyright you and take some royalties for it, but the intensely boring, you can be side by side, and it looks like, there's tight racing, but nothing's actually happening. Tell that to Elton Sawyer about why he thinks the plate racing is good, exception being on Sunday, because we get that gridlock thing. But either way, that outside lane seeming to make a little bit of progress there. They've gotten themselves up to the 96. That's Cooper at about the 6th spot. His connection has appeared to have cleared up, so that is a positive thing. But when you go up front, Matt Rodriguez, didn't fill out he sent a picture in, but he didn't fill out the spreadsheet. Half the battle. Seems to be pretty committed to running with Kress.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad decision at all from him there to be in that position with Kress holding on. Right now, again, we're only going on to lap 25 of 85. There's plenty of time left in this race. Settle it in and just continue to run along. If you can hold that P2 there, hold Sean Bradley behind. There's no need to try to make that jump around Brad Kress. Just let him lead the laps. Let him go, unless you are going for extra points for laps led or you're going for just a point for a lap led. And I wouldn't, mess with anything. I would just hold that P2, follow it along, and let it go. That top line isn't making any headways there with Brody Machado going up through with Herzog. I mean, if the top line starts making a run, jump to the top. Otherwise, just sit where you're at. No sense in making unnecessary moves.
Yeah, those pushes were not very straight from Herzog here. Claiming to be the youngest one, Brody Machado there. I don't have the spreadsheet available to double check that factoid, but 18. We've seen, what is it, in our old e-car series, Brad? I think we covered 14-year-olds. There's Lego into the wall back there. That's the 21 of Wyatt. Saw Lego into the wall there. Hopefully one didn't fall off and cause some debris there. But who is that? Howie running 36, all by the lonesome there. And who else? Cam Kane in the Affleck car. All by his lonesome, just lost the main draft.
I'm going to have to get an Affleck sound button here going through. If you didn't hear Howie on the season 8 finale, had that great sound button. I'm going to get an Affleck sound button for Tuesday nights. The 882, is that another Jeff Gordon paint scheme? 882,
and I was a Gordon fan intensely for years. That is just, I believe that's based on an iRacing. That might even be an iRacing stock scheme with potentially, I think that's just an iRacing stock scheme. And then, the triple bypass. Nope, that's just straight stock. Almost positive that's just straight stock. I was trying to give any benefit of the doubt to that being a custom scheme, but no. Kind of looks like Jeff Gordon. But I will almost guarantee you that's just straight
It's
paint
William
job.
Byron. There it is. It's a William Byron spin-off.
Is it? I mean, it's that.
William Byron is it runs the 24, sponsored by Exalta.
But Logitech is an in-sim sponsor, so that's where I refute you on that. But perhaps he'll finish on the podium, and we can ask him. Or maybe we'll ask him if he's in the Discord here if we get a caution. But either way, things, let's see, what is our stint length there? We are on about 8 laps since the most recent cars have come to pit lane. So, again, we'll estimate about 40 probably-ish would be for fuel. But there are some drivers on different strategies as we extrapolate this out. Brad Kress is going to need to pit significantly earlier. He's going to need to line up with Coop there in Epting because those three are running the least amount of fuel right now. Then you have that second tier group who's run about 13 laps. That's a good portion of the field. But look on the bottom of the ticker there. You see 8. Those drivers can go an additional 5. So this is the kind of stuff you actually want to see play out is you have 3 different strategies. I'd love to see how these all come together.
Yeah, watching through and again, that mental math going around. Here's going to be the problem for Kress is Kress needs his friends to pit. And then you've got the big old pack that'll stay together for significantly longer. So then Kress is almost going to be just fingers crossed for a caution to come out to kind of offset that early pit stop needed. But right now, guys are looking pretty steady in the moment, and you got to wonder if you're Kress, are you second guessing the no pit stop decision that you've made? Because I certainly would be, but you're also at the front here at Daytona in the Culture Designs 85. So you're probably not second guessing it too hard as we go along and around. And again, top line is stuck there about 5 places back, which is not what I expected.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just a limitation of the car. I know these cars draft ridiculously fast and if anything, unrealistically fast. I know iRacing's been, they're going to be updating that. Well, I'll take that back. I thought these things drafted about 200 miles an hour, but maybe there was an update. It could be the setup as well. Someone has hit the wall. That's Howie, who is getting pushed by Reyes there, and they're both hitting the wall. I know they're trying to get out of the way, but don't hit the wall, my peeps.
almost would have been better for them to drop down low, but now they're going to be pinned up high, and this is going to take the pack 3 wide through the tri-oval. This is not ideal.
Oh my God, Tyler
is off the wall. He is struggling with handling. I don't know if he's got damage and already used his fast repair and is just kind of there to be there at this point, but Joe!
Oh, no.
I think we're good. I think everybody kept it together, just barely.
Admittedly, Daytona is a narrow track. I want to say it's only 35 feet, which is the same width as Atlanta, Charlotte. That's why being Atlanta, 35 feet, that's why everyone says it's so difficult to race, because it's hard. It's a squeeze to go 3 wide. Talladega, I don't know the exact numerics on it, but it's basically wide. 4 wide at Dega feels like 3 wide here. 17, Caleb Brown, and I see a hood that just went flying. That's Howie.
And we're lucky. Do we stay green? It looks like we stay green, though, even with Howie down into the inside wall, off the racing line. What did they do? Is that just a bad shove from Tyler?
I believe Howie may have reacted to what was going on in front.
Yeah, I didn't get a good view of what was happening up front. That's someone's front bumper.
Yeah, Howie saw the debris flying, probably assumed something was going to happen, and the 160 didn't react to it, and Howie got the short end of the stick there, unfortunately. So already used the fast repair, so that may be donezo, unless Howie wants to putt around with a damaged vehicle. May or may not, don't know. But either way, of minimal significance to what's going on up front, where the pack is now 22 drivers. Hold the phone here. Is Lego hanging on with no front? It was Kennedy's front bumper.
That's the front bumper we saw fly. Okay.
And this thing is still hanging in the draft?
That's just sheer dumb luck. That is all I can call this. I don't know why this car is where it's at, but you know what?
I'm going to say I'm going to say the first semi-curse word in the history of primetime racing TV that has gone since 2017. You got to be bullshitting me for this car to still be in the draft with no front. I know the draft is a Band-Aid, but come on.
I can't do anything but just laugh, because that makes 0 sense, dude. What in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just checking the back end here on Wyatt to see if Wyatt has a reprieve at the next caution. Wyatt does, so you can tell he's struggling to hang on, absolutely. But the fact that he's not running 140 miles an hour is just baffling to me. They'll get swallowed up by the next pack, but
he shouldn't even be doing this well.
20 laps, so if he can stay in the lead in that even second pack, or maybe, just maybe, here's the strat for the 21. He's not going to do it because he's not going to have the information that we do unless he's listening live. He pits with Brad Kress and those drivers that are going to need to pit early.
Yeah.
Gets that fast repair, and then at least has 2 or 3 buddies to draft with. That's the strat.
I hope he does that. If he's listening, he needs to do that. As he goes through, here's the pack going through. That's going to be slaughtered behind him. We're going 3 wide to get around. So he is down on speed.
But doing way better than anticipated. There's someone going to the rear. That's Alan Kunman there. I wouldn't want to be pushing that car there, Brosif, but if it works, so be it. But actually, the drivers that are on that strat, I think they're all in that lead pack, so even that strategy I don't think would work for the 21, but maybe he can stay in this second pack for all we know. But either way, we'll see. We'll just kind of follow that as a side story there. But Kress is, never mind, we're wrecking on the back.
Oh, now that is luck for the 21. That is heartbreaking for those in the back, and there's the caution. Yep, that is the caution flag. I think that was Machado there, if I'm not mistaken here. And is that Al Corey? It is, the boss man. What would a triple bypass race be without the boss man getting into a tussle? instead of Machow, he should be called Ka-Chow. Here we go. And that's a...
Oh, we get the old classic, who came up, who came down.
That was a weird one. I'll call it right off the bat. That was a weird one.
All right.
Or maybe it's just the blimp angle. I'm not sure.
All right, so we'll pause this right here. We're going to go from the back bumper of the 57 of Herzog, because I think that will do the best job to answer the question, who came up, who came down. I don't know.
That almost looks like a little bit of net code in there, too.
But I don't have an answer for that question, but, you know, a little bit of A, a little bit of B, sprinkle a little C on top. It's called a racing deal, I guess, at the end of the day. But again, the driver who will most benefit from that is the Lego machine of Wyatt Kennedy there. Gets that front clip put back on, to use that fast repair, as we are still... What's 85 divided by 2, Brad? You know these odd numbers. What is it? 45 would be 90. So it's like, what, 42 would be halfway? 42 and a half? So we're still not even halfway in this thing. And it's about 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Whew. All right, boys, buckle it in. This is going to be a fun one. And here we go. Whole field to the pits here. I still don't know if this is good enough on fuel.
Pretty close. No, wait, so this would be about 48. I would say probably not, but it's very close. I would say probably not, though. There's what is going on here?
Somebody very clearly did not practice their pit stops, which is something I preach over and over again.
Matt Alfredson has remained on second. I have turned laps IRL at the late... Oh, Walt Disney World Speedway. Rest in peace, all because the guy who had a medical condition ruined it for the rest of us, because he killed the worker by racing on the track when he wasn't medically cleared to. Little backstory there. Adam Bossy, I did get enunciation on that. He is second. Our race sponsor, Terry Brooks, is third. Getting a shout out there for the... Cultured Designs 85. We have the Cup Series winner, Dylan Freeman, in the Now I Know Some Kind of Wrestling livery. Winstead, Kunman, Gerald, Baxter, names we really haven't talked about, but they stayed out, so they're about the top 10 right now.
Yeah, that is a interesting decision to stay out, but then again, I think if you are sort of thinking of how this race is going to run, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Getting a little bit of info on the back end here, because drivers love to text and drive under caution. I will not name names, but just know I have multiple friends in many places, and it's not the friends that I talk about a lot. They like to not do that because they know I'm an insurance adjuster, and I'll yell at them. 37 laps is the fuel run.
So that, yeah.
So do your math.
That means
6.8 short is where we're sitting right now.
Yep, and cautions do help that number, but they're not going to help it that much unless we have an absolute onslaught of yellow flag laps, which if that's the case, we may be switching to Golden Girls a little bit early, and you'll catch the replay on Peacock after tomorrow, after 24-hour upload time. But 1 to green, and is the 83 choosing the top line. I'm not sure if there's any friend affiliation there, but leader choosing the outside lane.
Yeah, that's just, again, one of the things they activated this year, or this season here in Triple Bypass, that I'm a big fan of is the choose for the leader. Leader gets to declare in comms where they want to go on the line. Everybody else lines up where iRacing tells them to. So if the leader says, I want the high line, they get the high line. And I kind of don't disagree with it here. Going through, whether you have a friend or not, I just think the outside line can sometimes get together. And if you're more comfortable there, might as well be there. But we're still very early night here on this, going lap 40 when we go green. Pick a lane, any lane, doesn't matter.
Yep, speaking from picking a lane, as the plane lands in the background there at Daytona International Airport. I've been to this track and twice, and neither time did I go to Daytona International because it was more expensive than Orlando. But you talked about picking a lane. They did announce that the choose cone is in development. Not to say it's going to be out in the next build, but iRacing is actively working on it. It is more complex than most other things that could be implemented. So it is taking their time, but they are working on that. So maybe that will come in a few seasons. But we'll see how this plays out. Again, 83 is the control vehicle there with Freeman behind, and then you have the 71, which is technically not a number on the ticker right now, but the 71 leading this with Terry Brooks to the inside.
Pace car is going to peel off here, and we're going to get things back underway for this restart for lap number 40 as we come through the tri-oval, and there we go. Green. Hallfield gets rolling pretty well. Martin's got the green flag, and we are going to go.
Yes, we are in a huge gap first to second there, inside lane. The outside obviously not advantageous at all. Actually, I'm kind of doubting myself there, Brett. I think the 71 was the control vehicle, but for some reason the 83 was just ahead of him the entire caution lap. So I'll kind of correct myself on that there in post, but there goes a big drop to the bottom. Freeman, maybe he's going to try to work with the Slurpee car and try to get an inside push, but it looks like Boss on the outside doing pretty good.
Yeah, everybody holding this 2x2 here at the moment as they go. And again, just kind of the big key on a restart here is find your friend, find your footing, and get that car up to speed as quickly as you can. You can see that top line fracturing there from the Waffle House teamed Taco Bell branded car, the number 47 there on back. And now, never mind, I don't know why I speak, because the top line then comes back together going through here on board with Squire. No relation to Billy Squire, and just continues to run along here and trying to find his way around. I was going to ask you that. I was hoping you knew.
If anything, I would have put no relation to Ken, because at least that's a racing gig there. But I don't know. Someone pop a Google and tell us who that is, because now it's in our head. Taco Bell Live Moss. I can't remember what it was today. It's Tuesday, so Taco Bell always does at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific. Every Tuesday you can get a $1 specialty entree. Usually it's nachos Bel Grande. Sometimes it's chicken quesadilla. Sometimes it's a Crunchwrap. You can get it for $1 if you're one of the first 20,000 on the Taco Bell app. It's not a sponsored segment, but I just like my fast food. But if you like that, take a gander at it next week. Maybe have a Slurpee from your 7-Eleven there, as Steve McClendon a little bit free on that outside lane, wiggling and wobbling.
Yeah, he going through, and I'm not sure if he was. Oh, that's a Camry.
07.
That much.
That is Matt Moyer there, who just about cleared himself in front of the 97 of Winstead, who was also texting and driving on the restart from the 5th position. But luckily, didn't fully clear, left some space, and we keep going.
Yeah, continuing along here as they go and keeping things alive. And you can see, again, I think everyone has kind of locked it in. We've hit half race distance officially now. So we're at the point where we can start taking this race down and counting down to the end. And this is where drivers are going to start to get a little antsy. Everybody's going to start to get a little nervous. If you're further back in this pack, you want to start trying to find your way forward a little bit sooner than others, because it's going to take you longer to work your way through. So as they go, they're going to be thinking about what they want to do here. Again, I wouldn't do anything yet. And as I say that, that is going to be Pericini pulling his way into the middle lane, sending it 3 wide near the back. Does he have any help, though, is the big $1 million question. The answer is yes, but I'm not sure who.
Take a gander at it. That is the number 22 car, I believe, that is given the push in the middle. And again, you got to forgive us. This is only our second race with the ARCA car. The Cup cars at this point, we know them. I can just take a glance, know who it is, but different names, different cars, haven't seen. There are some number mismatches here, so sometimes it's just a little bit difficult for us to get that car number instantly. And I think the 22 is Dylan Petit there, but he is 9 laps down. At current rate, might have a chance to get some of those back. Who is down there on the flat? That's the 76 of James Honeycutt, who's down there on the flat. I don't know if he was trying to get out of the way, but either way, no issue came from it.
Honeycutt cutting it close there as we go along. And yeah, it's, going between all the different series here with Triple Bypass, the numbers are assigned universally across the series. So when you join the league, you pick a number, that's your number. But the big thing with it is that you pick that number, that's your number, but you don't have to run the same paint scheme week to weeks or series to series. So that is where things get kind of interesting. And another thing that I think is interesting is just seeing how these cars go along. They've settled into a run here. So we're going to step back and do some temporarily loud engines. Enjoy the sights and sounds of ARCA here at Daytona. We'll be right back.
All right, we are back after that temporarily loud engine segment there. And typically the PTR TV curse says whenever we go to temporarily loud engines, we have a caution. But we managed to persevere through it, and it looks like they might be trying to do it in post there because we're 3 wide. I think that's Moyer, the GoPro car in the middle there. 83 Abassi going down to the inside. Baxter goes to follow, leaves Kress to the outside with the push from McClendon there. And Brad, it's something to note still. We'll pull up the stints on the ticker for you and the folks at home. But now that we know 37, maybe 40 laps with the cautions, there are some drivers who will need to pit significantly earlier than others.
Yeah, and seeing the drivers kind of decide when they're going to pit, that's going to be the million-dollar question of the night that really sort of settle things in. But at the same time, we know that nobody can make it on a green run right now to the end regardless. So I'm almost inclined to say if I was somebody like Brad Crafton, Steve McClendon, and Sean Bradley, if I start seeing, Boss, Baxter, Cundon pit in, I'd almost be inclined to go with just to make sure I have more friends than... I don't know. This is also why I'm not a driver and why I'm up in the booth, because I never claim to be the best at these decisions. I just claim to be able to analyze them sometimes.
Just saw they were 3 abreast for a brief moment there. Couldn't quite make out who that yellow car was on the top. There's a bunch of yellow cars in this race, but that starts with a 3. Was that Tyler Merritt? Yeah, yes it was. I think he was on the outside of a 3 wide. Tyler Merritt didn't fill up the spreadsheet, but he was very competitive last week at Richmond. Thumbsticks actually won the race, as a matter of fact. But up front, McClendon has gotten the push from Bradley. You said they're buddies. They're working in that same capacity here, coming to the outside. They got the lead temporarily, but now the surge and the shorter distance from the inside starting to persevere.
And as they go along here, continuing to push, find that perseverance and go along to the high line. They are coming across the line. We love Steve McClendon lead lap number 50 going into 51. And let's see what happens if McClendon and Bradley clear crest. Are they going to drop low? Are they going to hold high? I would almost imagine they'd want to drop down to that low line, but then they have to watch out for Squire there in the 47 as they come along here. This pack, it's kind of a hornet's nest right now. Nobody's really switching lanes. Nobody's doing anything too crazy. Everyone's holding along here as they go. But at some point, the cork in the bottle has to come off. We're 34 laps or 35 laps to the end, and there's that shift down to the low line.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. There's the person. Actually, not that person. The crest gets to the inside. Now Taco Bell at the outside. And we'll see how that happens. You can see the second pack in the background. And they are led by, who is that? That's Matthew Epting. And they, I think the 882 who's off the lead lap. Machau, actually no, Machau is on the lead lap. So they are 4 seconds back. Curtis Mitchell, and he is 3 seconds back. And if that second pack can just get a little bit closer, I would think we will have one huge pack again.
Yeah, one huge pack is going to produce some really great racing as they go along. It'll be interesting to kind of watch when that second pack, when that second pack catches up, how they sort of want to force their way through. And the one thing I'm really kind of watching at this point is if this first pack decides they want to start taking things 3 wide, if they want to get a little bit racy here and kind of start pushing things along. It doesn't look like anyone wants to do that. Again, we're still early days, all things considered, for this race, for them to want to go to the end here. So I think that they want to hold on to it and just keep this double file run. But somebody might be brave, might try something here. Nobody's doing it yet, though. So we go along, and never mind, we're going to send Squire back to the back.
Yep, 47 is going to enter Alicia Keysbone because he keeps on falling and also tagging the wall. He must have took out of Tyler Reyes' book and Howie a little bit earlier, who are running that outside. Can't keep it off the safer barrier, but goes from battling for the lead back to the 16th, 18th position, somewhere in that ballpark. Somebody down all the way to the flat.
Oh.
And we wreck it.
Ouch. And we still wreck him.
I see the 97 around. That was somebody. Winstead, that is.
Let's get a PTR TV replay dialed up here, and let's see if we can get.
All right, so the 31 Freeman and the 12 had issues in, and they all reacted to it. Winstead was just an innocent bystander.
That's a hard hit into the inside pit wall.
Yeah, but it all stemmed from with Freeman. Just look here. Oh, 12 car came down aggressively. That put Freeman on the apron, and everybody else essentially just reacted to it.
Unfortunate to see there are several good cars in the mix there, and look at the avoidance there at the back end of the pack from the car coming back up on the lane. I mean, that was impressive here. So we go through, we've officially hit 30 to go here. Everybody, if they pit now, can make it to the end, I believe.
Absolutely the case here, and not something that we do too often here. We've been really good about not doing commercials as of late, but this race has, I think we've exhausted most of our talking points, Brad, so let's just go side by side for a bit. We'll be back with you guys for the restart. Please stay with us.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to green on lap 58 of 85 here for Triple Bypass ARCA Series. It's the Culture Design 85 here, race number 2 of this season. And it's me, Brad, here in the booth, joined by Corey Silva, who's pressing all the buttons, bringing you all the pictures, and also a lot more racing insight from him, and sometimes some great food options from him as well, if you believe in that. We're back green here, and what do you know? It's Steve McClendon, it's Sean Bradley up in the front doing the things they're doing, and Zach Nerney on the low line. That something doesn't sit right with me on that.
Yeah, not our elbows out, our road racing driver who has partnered over here and kind of had that cooperation. Making up words.
That's a word.
Who am I? DW here. Coopetition, you know, the leagues working with each other here and sharing drivers get involved. So not traditionally an oval guy, but having some fun on the ovals, and at least for the time being, he's doing quite well. You said he wasn't going to do anything until about 10 to go. Well, math, we got more than 10 to go, and he's going for it, as we're reckoning.
Herzog into the wall in the background, reactions, overreactions, and wrecking through the pits, wrecking through the cracks. Landscapers are going to be very excited that they don't have to do any work tonight. And we stay green, though, up front. We know there's the caution. I got a little excited.
It's Coop, and that's Donald Risto here. Take a look at our play of Rees. So there's Herzog into the wall up front, and then a reaction situation there. I saw the High Life car hit the wall. It was ultimately all based on this reaction, what was going on ahead. This is on board with
again, you have to factor the human element of reaction time into this. So by the time everyone sort of understands it's good, they don't have time to react.
I'm imagining that was, I don't know definitively, but I'm imagining, just based on my knowledge of the algorithms, that probably was a admin caution because they were well off the racing circuit there, but maybe it was automated, so who knows? Well, we've babbled a lot. We've already gone to commercial. I guess the only thing left is to talk to somebody, Brett.
Yeah, I mean, 25 laps to go. Who we want to grab? There's several options here. Any, mini, money, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. Let's talk to your boy, Beef Boy Freeman here. Dylan.
What the? Oh, yeah, what up?
Hello. Welcome to the
Sorry,
broadcast booth
for
with
that.
no warning.
Yeah, I got you. What up?
We're just checking in, man. You've beat Steve at Daytona once. Your Avril Lavigne car is a CM Punk car. How's Daytona and ARCA treating you?
Not as well as Sunday night. Gotten a few incidents. Car's not killed. Haven't used a fast repair, but it's been all right so far. Hoping to make it to the end and get some track position here.
We did have a debate earlier. Now, obviously, it's a Swifty day. We all know that. I'm not sure how you vibe with the Swifty, and I made a statement that the blank space was better on the OG album than Taylor's version. Do you have any input on Taylor's version versus regular versions?
I do. In fact, I think Taylor Swift has good music. And I think the original versions are basically better in every single case except there are very few. But yes, Blank Space, the original version from like 2014 is definitely better than Taylor's version. I'm with you, Corey.
I knew we were pals. I knew it. So
yeah,
my wife said otherwise, but I got it.
Did Brad think? Oh, the wife. Okay.
Yeah, my wife is utter Swiftie, and she likes the Taylor's versions, but she owns all the albums now, so I mean, you can't even complain about it.
I think like the real Swift, like if I feel like if you go to a Swiftie and someone says they don't like the Taylor's version as much, like another Swiftie thinks you're like, They give you like a look. I feel like because of her masters she claimed for those albums. I think she makes more money off that as if she needs that.
Exactly.
We're gonna go pull the drivers. I'm curious now.
But
I don't know how many. I'll tell you, Bull. He knows some Taylor Swift. You can fool him. Bull is Matthew Epting, by the way.
All right, let's bring him up. Yo.
Okay.
Oh, what's up, Bull?
What?
Well, on broadcast,
broadcast booth.
Oh.
This is how you know the broadcast is. So we're just going on about T Swift over here, and Dylan and I are on the same page that the original Taylor Swift albums are better than the Taylor's versions. Most specifically, Blank Space. That was a vibe, and it doesn't hit on Taylor's version. What's your take on it?
You know, I don't know enough about Taylor's versions, but Reputation's her best album, in my opinion. So
I agree. Him and I have a lot of more with that.
Like some bangers on there.
And from what I've been told, Travis said the new album, it's from the same people, the same producer from 1989. It's going to be straight vibers, straight bangers. So we're in for it. But you guys are in for it.
I'm tired of this slow stuff.
You guys are in for it. It's 1 to green. Try to make this go to the end. It's late. I don't want to be here till 11:30. So tell the guys I'm getting sick of it.
Dylan, go up front, Bo.
Tell the guys we've been ranting and I'm getting pissed off. So let's finish this out clean.
All right, I'll let Al know.
All right. Again, to reiterate, this is the style that we were contracted for. Fun, loose, exciting. Fun, loose, exciting. Yes, that's what we were. Fun, loose, and exciting. That's what we deliver here at PTR TV. But we can be professional, tight, and yuppie if we need to.
Listen, let's be honest.
Should we do one of those?
TV,
Should we do one of those just to show that we can actually do it?
No, we're not going from our normal style. Because here's the thing. If you're one of our 1,780 subscribers, we're trying to get to 1,800, by the way. We need 20 more people.
I think it's actually higher.
Bit there, please.
The number on YouTube Studio is not updating live. I think we're actually close at 1,890 right now. But either way, yes. Continue the point.
Anyways, with that being said, you're here. You know the style you're getting. It's what you're here, and you either love it or you hate it. But either way, if you're here and you're subscribed, you love it.
Fun, loose, and exciting.
Yeah.
That caught you off guard,
exactly.
Didn't it? Caught me off guard, and I'm the one that said it, but that's usually how my mouth works. But either way, we'll transition back to some racing here at the World Center of Speed, or whatever it says on the grandstand there. Steve McClendon, Zach Nerney. Let's get racing for, I believe, the 7th restart of the evening.
And as we get going again, it's going to be the same thing we've seen time and time again. McClendon, Sean Bradley working together. Nerney's in 3rd place yet again, somewhere that I have learned that Nerney actually has an oval trophy for being a champion in Elbows Out Racing when they ran a one couple off random oval thing. So actually kind of, I got to give him a little bit of accolade here. Just going to send it, bud. Jeff Slaughter up on the high line. And, I mean, that's a shove in the back. But, I mean, when you get the Corgi and you get Slaughter Racing Designs together, you got to be careful. But those two will work together really well because give you some insight. Slaughter Designs has helped design some of the Corgi decisions.
Oh, Jeepers Creepers. This, you talked earlier.
Scaring me.
You talked earlier about sensing things, and I see a lot of wiggling. I see a lot of lane changes, and I see a lot of pushes that have the potential to not end favorably there. The 3 was certainly sideways, but managed to recoup, which we like to see. And Da Bears are 3 wide here in the back of the pack. Is that actually Epting?
Bears.
Yep, and someone is off in the grass pulling their pre-impression.
Parasini. Believe that was Parasini off in the grass.
We'll get a shot of that in a second. For those who have never done what I do here and what Brad does, plate racing is the most difficult instant replays to find. And yes, that is Matt Parasini. And there was somebody else as well. We'll get one more look at it. Going through a timing screen that changes about 50 times a second and finding stuff on the fly. Not as easy as it is at other circuits here, but let's see. Kunman, I just talked about him, and I would say the hole was there, but if 1 inch digressed from either car, it was going to cause a wreck, and evidently it did.
Yeah, and that's the challenging part of racing these cars at 190 miles an hour around Daytona is that things change so quickly. And of course, we're on iRacing, so you have the fun thing of people's internet to contend with, that sometimes things just get a little wonky and a hole's there, then it's not. But it is unfortunate to see their Parasini spinning through. I think, don't quote me on this, I want to say Parasini still had a faster pair though in his pocket, so not unrealistic if he had damages.
Well, Brad, I think we are, when we talked being contractually obligated, we are told to go through the field once a race. May as well not get yelled at, right? But let's do it different. Let's go backwards. I don't know. It's just different. Why not? So Parasini is running in 34th. This is going to throw my OCD and anxiety off, but it was my own idea. We got Ward Fisher in 33rd, working up through the field. Michael Hopkins in 32nd. We have Donald Risto in 31st. I'm already getting screwed up. We have Herzog in 30th. Jacob Bettis in 29th. Nicholas Deal in 28th, and now people are pitting, so scratch that.
It's yeah, throw your thing out the window there.
All right, we'll start on top.
Okay.
This broadcast has just been a cluster anyway, so let's just add to it. We got McClendon, we got Bradley, we got Nerney. Needs a sponsor, by the way. Matt Hyman in 4th. We got Matt Rodriguez. We have Nathan Hemperly in 6th, Slaughter in 7th, Caleb Brown in 8th, Ryan Hyatt in 9th, and Brad Kress in 10th.
From there we go P11 Alfredson, and then we go 12th place, which is going to be Kunman in the Mobile One car, not the Nichols Oil Pros car, which I have an issue with. Adam Boss in P number Bossy in 14th place in a Twitch car, and then the Hendrick car of Baxter, P14. P15 Dylan Freeman in the CM Punk car, and then P16 is going to bring us along to Epting and the Bears. P number 17 is Matt Muir,
Something like that.
Terry Brooks, race sponsor, P number 18, P19 on the night, Tyler Thumbsticks Merritt, and P20 will bring us along to Curtis Mitchell.
All right. We got some of them, but not all. Cinnabon, Mark Gerald. And look at, he actually matched his number to his paint scheme like I asked him to do. So good little doobie there. Alex Squire, the Taco Bell ride, and he did the same thing. Look at, people follow instructions sometimes. Coop did as well. Al did. There was a couple who didn't, but you know, can't win them all. Jacob Bettis 25th, Herzog 26th, Risto, and then we already talked about the other guys.
I think some of the drivers might have their number matched to Sundays and not to Tuesdays. That's going to be my guess.
We live in the details, guys. We live in the details. Got to do more than one. Brad, quick hot take. Burger, fries, nuggets. Pick it. Fast food. It could be. Doesn't have to be all from the same place. It could be separate. Go.
Okay, nuggets, Wendy's, fries, Steak and Shake, burger, McDonald's.
Is Steak and Shake fast food? And I only say that because we don't have a lot here, because I kind of put that in that Five Guys category. And Five Guys, I put that more like a quick service, more of like a Panera. But is that still fast food?
The technical term, and this is because I worked in direct competition to this style as a general manager, it's fast casual is the term. So it's one that you can come in and sit down and have a dine-in style experience like you would at a restaurant, or you can smack through the drive-thru and go. They want the best of both worlds. It's a horrible restaurant design. I don't know why fast casual exists, but it does. That's a podcast topic that I'll save for another day. Anyways, My thing with Steak and Shake, and the reason the fries hit for me is because they use beef tallow now, which is becoming more of an industry standard, that a lot of places are switching to beef tallow from like peanut oil, canola oil. I don't really understand the logic to it, but it tastes so good.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it has to be trans fat free. I know trans fat's been taken out of the society, but I can certainly tell the health factor on it's probably gone, but health means nothing. I want it to taste good. But we are down to single file. I don't know what kind of oil Al's Shake Shack, Al's Shack Shack, Turn 4 Food Shack, whatever the heck it's called. I don't know what they use, but maybe we'll find out in the end of the race. 18 to go, single file. Let's go again.
Coming through, restart around again, McLennan and Bradley, and we are going to have single file restarts to the end of this race. So if we have more cautions, single file restarts here. Admin putting the foot down, but again, single file restart here at Daytona. As soon as you cross the line, spread it out 2 by 2, and things are going to start getting a little bit wild, a little bit quick. Everybody making their way around through turn 2 and front back here. Let's see who decides to go high-low, where we go, where they stop. Well, they'll stop at about 18 laps here coming through 3.
Yep, 18 laps to go. If this goes green, we're estimating about 15 minutes of racing, but that's if this goes green, which it might not. I mean, I'm not going to put a bet on it either way, but Matt Rodriguez feeling ever so lonely. You'd think he's listening to Akon because he's so lonely. If he does have somebody to call his own, and that is going to be Nathan Hemperly in that 12 car, the Hooters mobile. And I think that line is going to disassemble as they head through. Actually, no, someone has pulled up. Multiple have pulled up. Hyatt and Kress trying to make the outside go fast.
Can they go fast? Well, they're certainly going to try it here. Wiggle is coming through. That sixth sense is starting to tingle a little bit here as they go around here into 3. The back pack is 3 wide, though. That's one to watch as they go along. But this front pack is going to continue to push pretty hard here. The second pack is kind of narrowed it out.
We have 3, actually.
Here that's
yeah, this is our second pack. 14th through 20th. Alfredson through Mitchell. And who is that? The number 71, who isn't actually the 71. I keep forgetting who that actually is, but that driver is getting sifted through the pack right now. But up front, Slaughter, Hyatt trying to make the outside work. Numbers game, it's sort of equal, but just not enough Mo up there to make it work. And something's going on with the 12 of Hemperly. He seems to be struggling there. Maybe has that last car in line syndrome.
Yeah, I think Hemperly might have had too many wings there on a Tuesday night and might be suffering from that coming through. But let's see as we go along and around, and everybody just continuing to form their way through. Coming in through the trial they go, and this front pack trying to play nice and tidy right now, but as the laps count down, it's going to get more and more and more feisty. They're going to get more and more aggressive, and it's going to start to push just that little bit more. And as it does, I hope everyone has some popcorn ready because things are going to get really aggressive.
Now there goes Mobile 1 to the outside. That's Alan Kunman there. And then here comes Bossy up there. So now our second lane is up to the 5th position, 4th position even, trying to get to the right side of Harmon. They will do that successfully. The inside, you can see the gaps in between Harmon, in between Nerney. That will leave some momentum on the table. They can get themselves pushed up. That will certainly be advantageous. Look at the momentum. Look at the car into the wall. 14 tide ride. That's Matt Rodriguez.
And Rodriguez there is going to try to slot back in the line. We got more people coming through. Just barely enough room for anyone anywhere. It does look like they are going to clear through and get clean, and cautions out. Which pack is this for?
Superman, his cape has been ripped away from him, evidently.
I didn't know Barney had kryptonite there on the flag stand.
Oh, that's a push gone bad.
Gordon versus Gordon? Is that what just happened?
I'm telling you, that's a stock iRacing paint. Maybe we'll ask someone on an interview. So they were tandeming right now, essentially. And right there, fine, not fine. It became misaligned. I thought he was going to save it, but then he zigged and he should have zagged. And he damaged his old hot rod.
And that is unfortunate to see here as we go through 13 laps to go. Again, I still think Parasini has his fast repair though. So any damage he had, he can get repaired and try to charge his way through if he can get back towards the front pack. As we go, it looks like he will be into the pits, and I don't think he'll lose any time here. He should be good on fuel. This should just be in, stop in the box long enough for the repair and go.
Yeah, essentially. And through all of these cautions we've had, usually we play the game. We don't really have the mentality to play the game right now, but 8 cautions for 18 laps. That's what we've had here today. And because of that, we only have 3 formal retirees in the event: Howie Burrows, Cam Kane, and Chad Winstead. Everybody else, Wyatt Kennedy is in the pits with, it's been 7 minutes, so Wyatt's probably done, but still 40 car grid. I'd say about 34 of the drivers approximately are still on track in semi-competitive state.
Yeah, I can't confirm Wyatt Kennedy is out. Said that the race taking a little bit longer than expected and cannot stay for the finish due to real life obligations. Wyatt, another one of the drivers from elbows out. So again, I love seeing kind of the intermingling of all the leagues going here. It's so exciting to watch here.
Yep, and we
As
are
we go through. Yeah, 1 to green.
Yeah, so it's just gonna add to that point. We are actually working on bringing back some short track racing to the channel. It's been a few months. Actually, it's been probably more than that. I don't even think we've had a short track league in 2025. We had a lot of it in 2024, but looking to bring some of that. I'll tell you, Brad, something that I really want to bring to the channel. I want to bring some dirt to the channel.
I have been saying that for ages.
And
so, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this broadcast, if you know of a good late model wing sprint series, please go to primetimeracingtv.com. Get in touch with us. I would love a good dirt track series.
We have covered it in the past. I actually covered a dirt race on the official iRacing broadcast channel, which meant that they actually trusted me to do it, surprisingly. So even though I'm not, Mr. Complete Dirt, I don't have flow racing. I don't have dirt vision, but I know the technicalities of what's going on. You can look at our channel past. We do have the experience for it. So looking to broaden our spectrum here. We got NASCAR, a couple nights of NASCAR with triple bypass. We got some elbows out with their multi-class road. Get some short track in the works. So only other thing we need, I guess you could say, some rally cross, but that's kind of dead content. So either way, just kind of some stuff, little inklings into the back end here at PTR TV, but we're going to have a 1 to green. Again, they shorten the yellows, so we'll go back to green flag single file racing with 11 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm going to build on your point really quick, Corey. I grew up around dirt tracks. My uncle still races modifieds to this day. So just saying, plenty of experience to be found here on the channel to bring some good dirt to the live stage. Through the Geico restart zone we go, and McClendon with a great jump there. Sean Bradley going with him. And again, those two, we're going to see them stick together up until turn 4, final lap, and then we'll see those two battle really hard. Kunman in 3rd, Nerney in 4th, Bosse in P5, or Bossy. I don't know which way is the right way. We'll find out later. Up in P5, coming around single file on the restarts.
Bose. I wonder if that sounds good. I know.
That's a good one. That's actually.
Save it, please. I want to go to bed. That's Nerdy to the outside. Bossy to the inside, middle, sideways, squirrely. All over the place. Lack there of actual proper commentary as we go 3 wide. Brad Kress in the middle. And who is that to the bottom? That's the Corgi. That's Ryan Hyatt there. As we have a bunch of kind of little separation in our pack here, and if they want to have a chance, they're going to need to bunch them back together here.
Watch out for that cheeky little Corgi. He can find his way up into the run. We watched him win cup races last season going through, and look at this. Kunman side by side with McClendon, with Adam in the 83 there on the high line with him. Harmon, Nerney coming around. So we've now formed up about the top 10, top 12, 2x2 as they go along and continue through. Then you've got that middle pack, then you've got that big backpack that is going to start coming along as well, and see if they can find their way forward. Sean Bradley shoving McClendon on the low side. No surprise there to see that as we go through. A little bit of a wiggle here. The dog, roof, Let's see if he can raise his way to the top.
Never mind.
Caution.
The Coop
Third
stuff.
pack.
Koopa.
Koopa. What happened to Koopa?
He done got turned by Ward. And then a little kiss for contact there just to add some insult to injury. See here, watch that yellow car to the outside, blinker to the bottom, but I don't think that's relevant. Watch that, generic red number 84. I mean, that kind of goes who went high, who went low. I'm going to put probably 65-35 on Coop turning down there, in my humble opinion.
Man, you'd be a great insurance adjuster there, calling the shared fault on that. That's a great sign there when you can say that both parties did something wrong. I might have to get you to switch job industries here and go work in insurance.
If you got remote positions, literally, we could talk after the air, but yeah, Brad, I could talk like Danny Tanner on Full House. It's hard to shut me up, but I'm running out of filler content here.
It's very rare that we end up in a position to run out of filler content, but it does look like at the moment everything is just it's that super speedway sort of setup where you're waiting for that big pop of the white flag kind of to just let everything loose, and that's where things are going to really explode. It's that white flag coming out, because you know that the next flag ends it, and that's where guys are really willing to just not give a flip and send it along, and they don't care if they wreck. They're going to see checkers or wreckers, take your pick, and usually that final lap is the best lap.
Yeah, and remember, from an iRacing perspective, of course, in the real world, what'll happen is once they hit that white flag, a caution can end the race, and they will not finish under green flag conditions. But here in the sim, all flags essentially, outside of the black flag, the caution flag turns off once the leader hits the white flag. So it doesn't matter if we have every single car on their roof, we're going to have an upside down crawl to the finish if that happened, which at current pace may actually happen. But yes, doesn't matter what happens on that white flag lap, we will see the checkers in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see here how that goes. Of course, if you watch Sunday night, that final lap was very exciting to see through. I have a feeling that the top three right now may not even be the top three when they finish.
I would bet a fair amount of money on that. There are a lot of drivers who they plot out things. They may not make moves, but they're changing lanes a little bit. They're laying off. They're getting little mini runs. They're trying to just plan out what could happen, and then they wait to the very end to execute the plan. The only fear of that is just because it works in practice doesn't mean it works in the real situation. So, executing the plan in your head doesn't mean it's going to work in reality. And if you wait to the end, you only have one shot, one opportunity to go something about spaghetti and mom spaghetti. But Brad, call the restart.
And as we come to the restart here, as Corey doesn't know how to put words together for his own puns, Steve McClendon will find Barney with the green flag going through. Gets a good run there on Sean Bradley, and Matt Harmon there in third. Everybody gets away well in single file. Here's the problem with this, though, is the fact that we get away well on single file, but everything's going to accordion itself back together into double file. Top four have managed to get their way through, and then, here from P5 back, they've not got the run here. It's a little bit of Jeff Slaughter with a cork in the bottle here as we go along and around, and you can see everybody trying to work their way around Slaughter, that cork in the bottle. I don't know if he has damage or if he's just trying to sandbag, but he needs to figure it out because top four are running away. Yeah,
and this is actually not a good situation for the top drivers, because obviously for McClendon, he's leading Sean Bradley. I imagine Sean Bradley will probably make a last-ditch move, but when there's only four cars, there's not a lot of energy that moves around, so it makes that position for Kunman, that position for Harmon to make anything happen. It makes it exponentially harder, at least probably to off turn four, but the gap from fourth to fifth is about a second, 1.5 seconds. We'll pull up the telemetry graphic here, Brad, and just watch that to next position. 1.7. Let's see, what direction is it going?
And it's going the wrong direction, it looks like here, but it does look like they are trying to shove their way forward. Starting to close a little bit. Let's see how it goes through the corner.
Oh, here's a big push.
Really, yeah, that's a huge push there, Nerney. I mean, giving the bumper and then some, saying, hey, let's get a move on gap 1.5, gap down to 1.45 as they come out of 4 down towards the tri-oval. And this is a dangerous position to be in. If you're not comfortable being the one pushed here, this is a horrible feeling right now because you have no choice but to basically just let your car be shoved through. And at some point, these cars behind are going to break away. They're going to want to get away and they're going to want to run through because we're 5 laps to go.
And if they can get that gap down to about 0.8 of a second, they'll start getting the tow from Harmon, and then they'll close even faster than that, and then they'd have a huge run. And I can kind of foresee all that happening right at the white flag lap, but not if that happens, because Caleb Brown getting a little impatient. Maybe he got a little bit too hot, not sure, but that does not help the run as they still try to work things together. And you can kind of see that Harmon and Kunman, they're trying to do a little tag team duo because that's the only chance they have. Again, unless Sean Bradley is willing to make a move and not settle for second.
The gap is almost in draft range here as it goes, watching through. And again, they get up through.
Oh, no.
Almost, that's not
Nerney.
what they need.
Nerney down to the
Nerney
flat.
dropping the apron.
Saved
it, though.
Yeah, all that good racing he did, all for naught. But we caught most of it live, and I think he's just going to peel off and park it. And hopefully that doesn't throw a caution flag out.
No, he's well off the racing surface.
Yeah, he towed it. So, but look at this, Brad. All that has caught the 83 of Bossy up, and Hyatt is within range, 0.7 of a second. So we went from about 4 cars going for the race win. Now we're back up to really about 12, 13 in this lead draft, and anybody can win it because you don't know where the wreck's going to come from, potentially.
Indeed, Hyatt going high here, the 83 going through, Adam in the middle, 3 wide. A little bit of back-end info here. Zach actually blew up. He was pushing so hard, he blew the motor. So that is what happened there and why he wiggled the way he did. So that
you don't do that on elbows out.
Yeah, it's something that you wouldn't think about either, really, because most of the time guys do really well about making sure the car stays cool, but he was pushing. He wanted that gap closed, and as we come up 2 to go, we're 2 by 2 up in the front. Matt Harmon, new leader. Rodriguez into second. McClendon's dropping back. Bradley's going to give him a shove across the line. 2 to go. Yeah,
again, you can tandem draft for about a lap and a half or so before you got to cool down that engine. They did that, and now Sean Bradley trying to pull the tandem off with Steve, but he's boxed in now behind the 14 of Rodriguez. Matt Harmon trying to lead this thing through, but the Corgi, where would he come from? Oh, no.
Well, there went your entire lead pack.
Well, Sean Bradley, I mean, losing those positions actually worked out, I guess.
What?
My silence was censorship, Brad.
My mute button was censorship
51
right there.
into the 14.
And Sean Bradley, I don't know how he stayed safe right there. Millimeters off the rear bumper.
Yeah, he just went all the way down to the flat there, but, just check it out from Steve's perspective. He was trying to shoot middle, and the gap closed.
That is everyone who is in your lead run out right there.
Let's just kind of hold this shot and just make sure that, we are in ARCA, but it doesn't appear that the ARCA brakes, so at least there's that.
Well, good. I'm glad to see no ARCA brakes.
But McClendon didn't lose position in that. He still is being registered in second. Because they did have such a gap, they didn't lose positions, but obviously Harmon, he's going to have the meatball flag. He is going to have to pit. And kudos to Dylan here with the super chat.
Dylan, thank you, man. Much appreciated.
The funny part, we told him that I was you know, we were starting to lose a little bit of patience here, just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit. And I think that's probably it's kind of a little sympathy super chat for keeping this old 36-year-old man up past his bedtime.
All right, let's look at everyone coming into the pits here because it's all of your leaders here. Harmon's in, Slaughter's in, Hyatt's in, Brown is in,
What
Brooks
in the
is in,
hell?
Rodriguez,
Oh, they
Cunman, Boss.
can't turn because their cars are so broken.
And they don't want to tow. They have a fast repair left, so
yeah,
they've got to
Hyatt got in. But I don't see if there's Harmon. I can't tell if Hyatt got it or not. Yeah, he got his fast repair. And then Bax, wait, what is he doing? He's trying to reset his pit. I think he backed up like he had to reconfigure his pit settings or something and then reinstigate a second pit stop. Maybe he needed more fuel or something. It is. I think it's sympathy payment because he realizes that this race has been so racy. And I will call this, Brad,
Wow.
with permission from you. You know, we do loosely follow a clock, not really, but we will interview the winner on this and probably have to forego the rest because remember the Golden Girls refunds do need to fire off on time. So
Yeah, the Golden Girls have to get their run. So that is, yeah, we'll, as time allots, we will make sure we get an interview in as is, you know, deserve it to the winner of what's been a wild freaking race.
or if you want to interview everybody, we can, but typically in these kind of situations, and we've been told by admin to make those calls when races do go a little bit on the erratic side, to say it nicely, which I haven't been necessarily nice here today, so I'll try to be a little bit nicer here. I don't know why I just decided to go British when I'm talking about being nice, because British people usually aren't that nice, but either way, I'll cut the British accent because we are going to green, white, checkered. Sean Bradley, who has the golden horseshoe, evading that wreck somehow. 77.51 right in the thick of the wreck, leading the thing down for the hopefully last restart.
And as they come across the line here, we get rolling double file, and let's see what happens. And no surprise to anyone, Sean Bradley immediately jumps high there to get with McClendon. Matt Muir will drop low with Brad Kresh. Sean Bradley's going to drop low there, leaves McClendon alone, and is going to block the run from Kresh and Matt down low.
That's when you know what's going on as a driver. You're paying attention to the situation, and you've seen the 77 and 51 glued together all race, and you're like, we got to split them up. That's the only chance we have. And huge pushes from Herzog to the back of McClendon. McClendon almost lost it. Kress is clear. That's huge. Gives him the opportunity to go to the top of the track, but I have a feeling he's trying to time it for the perfect moment.
Yeah, and that perfect moment, I mean, you either you do it right or you don't. And let's see here as they cross the line. We'll go through. White flag is out. We take it. And next flag will end it, which will be the checkers. And 2.5 miles going into turn one we go. Sean Bradley with the lead with Kress. Look at that high line. McClendon out to nowhere, Leon. It is Sean Bradley trying to hold off the charge. Brad Kress, Matt Muir there, P2, P3 respectively. Can McClendon get a run on the high side?
I don't think so. Well, actually, here comes a little bit of a tandem run, but ultimately we're waiting for the last second. Is Kress just satisfied for second, or is he going to go for the win? They're wrecking in the back. Not a surprise, but again, we're racing back to the checkers. Matt Moyer, he has closed in. He is right to the back bumper of Kress. Does Kress even have a charge in the bank? Here he comes through the tri-oval. Looking to the outside. Block goes Bradley. Here comes a head of steam. Last second surge, but Bradley hangs on.
Winner by 0.007 as our timing software resets. 0.007, 7 1,000ths of a second.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that close, but evidently it was. So we'll get one quick look at that on our PTR TV replay. And you can see right here, this is the huge push from the back of, from the front of Moyer to Brad Kress, and that's what he needed. They enter the restart zone. I didn't think here it was even going to be close, but here it comes the last second surge in the run to the checkers, and I didn't think it was that close, Brad, but that's what the picture is.
I'll tell you another close one just behind them, McClendon and Alfredson, the 51 and the 037, separated by 2/1000ths of a second as they cross the line for P4. So Sean Bradley burning it down here. Very, very well deserved win.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was all over, but he used all that real estate there. He's going to do the cheating burnout here and just use the outside wall, but getting that victory here for him. Not someone who is immune to victory lane at all, and if memory serves, I think he won the Xfinity race. I know he won something this week, so that's 2 wins at Daytona for Sean Bradley this week. But let's go down and give you the final rundown of results here today from Daytona in what was a doozy of a race. Sean Bradley getting that final margin of victory, 7/1000ths over Brad Kress, with Matt Moyer in third. Steve McClendon gets the fourth, Alfredson in fifth. Tyler Merritt, a very quiet day for Thumbsticks, but he gets a sixth out of the deal. Eptig in seventh, our race sponsor Terry Brooks in eighth, and then Alex Squire and Brady Bachow going to be in the 10th spot.
From there we go, P11, Matt Harmon, Mark Jarrell, P12, Justin Baxter and Matt Rodriguez, 13th and 14th respectively. Kunman ends up in 15th with Herzog in 16th. That was the big wreck we saw in the back there on the final lap. The Corgi finds P17 with Tyler Ruielas, P18, Adam in P19, and Honeycutt cuts his way up to a top 20.
21st through 30th, we have Al Corey, we have Michael Hopkins, Jacob Bennis, and then we have Nicholas Deal, Donald Risto. Why do I keep calling him Dominic? Curtis Mitchell, Matt Parasini, Ward Fisher, Caleb Brown, Jeff Slaughter, and then the final page of results is as follows. Notably, Brian Cooper down there, Zach Nerney, heartbreak for him, blowing up. Freeman, Howie had, I think he was involved in every wreck that, Howie was on track for. But either way, I did get a little ask to cover one of the wrecks that happened earlier on that white flag sequence, so we'll just quickly see if we can let you see what happened there. One of the big wrecks on the white flag lap, and first time I'm seeing it, so I'm not privy to anything. You can see them 3 wide there in the middle, push to Parasini. And yeah, they just all came together there, and that was a big one. But I think you have run down to Gatorade Victory Lane, and you have found yourself Sean Bradley and a can of Duff beer, Brad.
Yeah, Sean, man, what a wild race, and welcome to Victory Lane, man. That was a long fought one here at Daytona, but talk me through it.
Really, it was just awesome teamwork with Steve McClendon, and it felt kind of good to get some redemption from a race that kind of went wrong on Sunday here at Daytona. So, thankfully we were up front like 99% of that race, and I actually didn't see a whole lot of the carnage that happened behind there. I just heard about it on the radio.
Yeah, man, wild things all the way through. Started first, finished first. Obviously, up and down here at Daytona. We watched you avoid that wreck there that caused that first green white checkered and the only green white checkered. How did you get so lucky?
I saw that one kind of coming. I saw that the 14, the 50, I think it was the 14 and the 51 were kind of going to go for the same real estate. The whole kind of closed up on Steve, unfortunately, and it wasn't. It had all the markings of something that was about to go bad. So I dipped pretty far low to avoid that, and thankfully I came through unscathed.
Absolutely, man. And we got an off week next week. Are you doing anything fun with your off week before Five Flags?
Well, Sunday, or is it Saturday? I can't remember. We're going to be doing a special event here at Triple Bypass, so I'll be in on that. Otherwise, no, I probably just going to be taking it easy. Probably have a cold Duff beer and, sit up in the patio, enjoy the last of the summer.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations on the win. It was awesome to watch through and see you take that Twisty Bits Racing Mustang up to the front, Sean. Hope you have a great evening. Enjoy your week off next week and your special event here with the league Saturday, and we'll catch up with you later, man.
All right, cheers. Thanks, guys.
All right, that is our race interview here, and just looking at the lineup there, we don't have Brad Kress even if we wanted to, and Matt Moyer, so that's actually all we have for interviews as it is anyways. So Again, like, share, comment, subscribe on our mission to 1,800 subscribers, just to finally, put the nail in the coffin there. We ended up with 10 cautions, 27 laps, so it was a doozy here. Any final thoughts before we sign out, Brad?
That was a wild race. Everybody deserves their off week coming up, and we won't be back after the off week either. We'll be going over to VG for the next stream, so you won't see us here with ARCA until Bristol.
All right, and what a doozy to come back for, but make sure you come back for tomorrow night. That'll be Elbows Out Racing. You'll see Nerney and a couple others come back out, Zach Nerney, to see if he can have a little redemption there. Brad will be covering that race, and then we will be back on 2 weeks from now for more racing because of the off week. So that'll be Corey and Brad signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we will catch you next time.
See you.